Okay, before I start, I just wanted to do a quick disclaimer. This is a dummy run for my headset mic, so apologize if there's ambient noises in the background, for example, breathing. I'm awfully tired, so you might actually hear me yawn or something, so just my apologies for that. Also, I'm I'm not trying to trigger anyone per se because I just wanted to show how the Daikyu performs given a good Riven, and it's also I might also expand to what given the right situations. For instance, I was doing a Kuva flood yesterday, and my operator was doing a surprising amount of damage to the Corpus. They were like level 80 to 100, and yet they were pretty much 2 or 3 shotting Corpus techs at that level. So I was a bit surprised. So this is a test run. I wanted to show how the Daikyu with this build I've got performs against a bombard at level 150, as well as a heavy gunner. Also, I will show off my build in a sec, so don't hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will the slash proc kill it? Nope. 11, 12. That was on its worst, on a worst day. It's like on its best, it was tying with the Dread. It's like when I was testing it with the Dread, it took around 7 to 9 arrows to kill a bombard. This would, on its best, would take roughly that amount. It was just RNG not on my side this time around with the crits. But just so that way I can put my money where my mouth is, let me show you. Let's see. There you are, Dread. Got that fashion frame on point. That's that's the true end game. Lols. And I apologize for the counting. It's just I wanted to keep track as well for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I love it when it ragdolls like that. And it's not just the Dread that can do that. My Daikyu. Damn, it's so satisfying to see them ragdoll like that. This is hilarious. But anyways, let me show you my Daikyu build. I'll also show Dread off if you'd like. So, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on the Dread later. But anyways, onto the video. I'm using Serration and Split Chamber. These are mandatory mods for all primaries. Unless there's an exception I'm missing, then in which case, pardon the derp. Then I'm using Point Strike and Vital Sense. I wouldn't have originally used these in the Daikyu, but since it got a secret crit chance buff to 20% with update 21, which I'm very happy about, that changed my mind about using the Point Strike and Vital Sense on here. Then I'm using Vital Acceleration, which, even though it has minus damage, it still hit, like, you saw how hard the Daikyu was hitting. This, like, that negative 15% damage means pretty much nothing to this bow. And it meant nothing to the Dread either, because, a little disclaimer, I was using Vital Acceleration on that build. So, and now onto the bottom row, I'm using Malignant Force and Stormbringer. This would be high voltage, but because of my Riven mod, which I'll get onto in a sec, I'm using Stormbringer since I've already hit 100% status chance, so having high voltage in here was pretty much pointless. And here we are, my Riven mod. Daikyu Hexa Staticron. It adds 132.3% critical chance, 85.8% multi-shot, and 86.8% status chance. That's quite a good Riven, although I would have loved that negative, that status chance to have been something like critical damage, and have an okay negative, like say, reload speed per se, because it's got an okay reload. Unless, because I don't mind reloading my bow arrows. What matters is the damage output. It's like the Cernos Prime has the slowest reload of all the bows, if I remember correctly. So yeah, if it's something like Cernos Prime level, I honestly don't mind. But this is what I got. So like this is, don't get me wrong, this is a great Riven. It makes the Daikyu hit harder than it normally would. And let me tell you something. The Daikyu, without a Riven, it still hits hard. Allow me to show you. If I throw an Argon Scope, I could, like, it's either Argon Scope or Vigilante Armaments. Argon Scope's a very expensive mod to get, so if you don't have this, throw on Vigilante Armaments. Because either one gives it a lot of damage. Oh, whoops. My bad. I forgot to show off my Riven ability against a heavy gunner. But you kind of get the idea. There's Argon Scope. One, second shot. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. And... no. 8 shots. Let's just throw that off just for the heck of it. 8 shots with Argon Scope. And that was with also the slash procs it was ticking. It was dealing, sorry. My grammar's a bit really bad when I'm sleepy. So yeah, since I've got this Riven, it did like a great amount of damage. Argon Scope also works, and then you've got Vigilante Armaments. I'll go over what the... Let me tell you something real quick. The set bonus isn't exactly very accurate. I could go over this in the Dread video if you like. Again, let me know in the comments, because it would really help. Because at the moment, all I'm thinking about is just doing YouTube as a hobby. It's like I'll be on and off doing random stuff. So I could spend weeks away from YouTube, or I could spend maybe a day or so. Depending on what you say, then yeah, I might do it more, or I might do it less. Just like, who knows? But anyways, that's it for this video. I again apologize for the quality of my voice, because this is only a headset mic, and it's not exactly the best. I mean, this headset costed like, what, 60 New Zealand dollars? So, it's not exactly the best. But anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.